Good afternoon, Speed Gaming, and welcome to week 3 of Links to Past Randomizer League Season 4. It's Casual Boots Week, and today we have Raylan Tank here of auch nicht, and Ike here of Don't Forget to Track Us. My name is Radical Sniper 99, and today I'm joined by Leoria. How's it going?
Not bad. I'm excited for a pretty hype matchup. You know, Kaz Boots, we're expecting a fairly quick seed, but you know, we'll see what Sahabot wants to throw at us today.
Yeah, I think that the talk of the week has been, are we going to see that sub-hour in a non-spoiler setting? And I feel like we're getting close to them. It's just a question of, will Sahabot give us that kind of seed for once?
I mean, just put all of the Go mode items we need in Kakariko and we'll be totally fine, right? Yeah.
Oh, of course. And let it lead dungeon to dungeon to dungeon.
That would be glorious. Just a nice, linear, clear dungeon seed. But let's be honest here. It's Sahabot.
Yeah. We've definitely seen some great seeds already this week, but you never know what you're going to find. Now, of course, with it being Casual Boots, that does mean we have to go through the standard start.
But given a Master Sword, so this is going to be, you know, decently quicker. And a map check from Raylan as well, 5-6 at Eastern and a red pennant Hera.
Yeah, and that was a regular crystal down at Desert Palace, so Pennant Hera is never a good feeling. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, 2 swords already is quite the great start for our runners. It does make a little bit of a difference in terms of your ability. And half magic, wow. Talk about early safety.
Yeah, the seed is being very kind already. You know, giving our runners what they, you know, may feel like is just, you know, these early safeties are just really nice. Words are hard.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're just dealing with Master Sword, finding half magic almost gets rid of a lot of the issues runners will talk about doing just Master Sword strats for most of the seed. Half magic is almost that little alternative safety.
And flippers as well here, so, you know, this escape, we joked about, you know, getting an early go mode to finally get a sub-hour, and the seed is kind of granting us a lot of really helpful things here at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we'd really want to see is maybe a mirror coming up.
Oh, that would be glorious. Just make this escape as quick as it could possibly be.
And we already have the map.
Yeah,
so we already know we're going to be pulling all the rest of the chests along the path here in Sanctuary, or Escape.
Sanctuary included, though, yeah.
Yeah, of course. I was going to say, my mind jumped to where we're going.
You are just trying to kind of have the seed move us forward as fast as it can. Like, you're trying to will it forward, I can tell.
Really scary there for Ike here.
Yeah, going down to 1 heart. Yeah, a little bit scary, but, you know, making Sailor Mercury go ahead and go up and get an extra heart just to be safe.
So as you can see along the bottom there, at this point we are, as we said, in week 3. So each team has played 4 matches. This will be their 5th matches of the season. Currently, Don't Forget to Track Us is 2-2, while Oops is 0-4 to start this season.
Yeah, and interesting to note too, both of these teams were open league teams in the past year. Oops auch nicht was our open league champions last season, and so got their promotion. Don't Forget to Track Us did receive an invite uh, kind of post invitations going out. But, both of these teams, doing what they can with this invitational league setup.
Yeah, and of course, the big thing for the teams is, hey, we want to try to keep into this. There is the whole relegation system for leagues, so one of those. I don't want to call it an incentive. It's hard to keep in for sure, but you do want to. You're looking for those wins.
Yeah, the setup this year, I believe, is out of the 4 invitational divisions, the team that finishes with the lowest record in each division will be relegated or have the potential to be relegated, I believe. They will not have an invite guaranteed.
Correct.
So for those of you just joining us, Link's house held the Master Sword. So Uncle, bestowed us his sword from his invisible pocket, as well as, leaving a sword in the house for Link.
And we did get a bomb off that one, and another sword. Oh, wow. Talk about just go fast. We also got a hammer. Oh, my God.
I mean, yeah, this is
We kind of joked about this idea of like a quick seed, but even this is kind of getting insane.
I mean, I feel like you absolutely rush you rush Kakariko, or not Kakariko, you rush Lumberjack too at this case. Like, yeah, you're only a lamp away from Aga being a thing, but good gravy.
So we did get a 515 escape from Raylan, and it looks like we had about a 530-ish on Ikir's side. Now,
Yeah,
Ikir did spend a
taking the time to
little bit of
farm.
time. Yeah, getting up to 10 bombs leaving escape is a nice feeling. He won't have to worry about it, even with that 3 bomb.
Now, we'll point out, Raylan dashed straight to the woods here, did not do Bonk Rocks, nor Lumberjack. Now, not going to be too huge of an issue. Ikir pulling 300 rupees, but, extra cash isn't going to hurt anybody.
Well, and one of the plays we've seen more recently. Oh wow, that's our third 300.
Wow.
Is a lot of runners actually have been talking about running an early Zora play. Using, well, you don't have to in this case. And Ikir is skipping that 300.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I mean, early cash is, incredibly helpful. Does pick up the second one, it's you just kind of press down and it's there, but I find it interesting just going ahead and skipping the 300.
Yeah, especially with flippers kind of giving you access to Zora, you really want that. And there's that mirror we talked about.
Just a couple minutes late, Seed, but we'll take it, as well as a glove and a red ring here in Blind's Hut. The rest of it not, super exciting.
I mean, I'll take 2 great items in any multi-item location.
And we are gonna get, still a little bit of similar routing here. Neither of the runners opting to go for that early water walk in the Zora play, which is totally fine. Kakariko has such density, and apparently all the items, because there's a fire rod and a powder.
And that 10 bomb negates the time that Ikir spent. Or makes it not so valuable on his end. Just $5 off of the bottle vendor.
Yeah, you don't really like to see, what is that, a 5% return of investment? That's not great.
I mean, with the money we've been getting on this seed, not a big deal.
No, that's true. That's true. Money is just everywhere at this point. Yeah, and I would not be shocked. In fact, I would be more shocked if our runners didn't do magic bat check. But with that powder and that hammer, as well as half magic filling up the bar, we're in a good place to do so.
Yeah, a nice quick check here early. Seed's going to give you the ability. Of course, we're going to go for it.
Yeah, and you're here anyway. Just following these items really fast to get this before you head south is pretty free. Just 20 bucks. So our, money gaining continues, and so will Waylon continue on, and Ike here following in his bootsteps.
Yeah, I'm curious if we're gonna see Raylan check Bonk Rocks. I wonder if this is like a strategy on his end. I can't imagine he forgot it. It's just, maybe this is a let me check Bonk Rocks and Lumberjack into a Death Mountain play.
That's definitely possible. Ooh. Okay, I was gonna say that was a really early select. I was like, I can't tell what that is, but just a big 20.
Although it looks like we're gonna be getting South Shore now.
I don't hate this. There's not a whole lot you can do on the mountain just yet. You really only have Old Man and, no, that's not true. We got the mirrors, so we actually have a lot we can do on the mountain.
Yeah, we got everything pretty much.
But also hair is a pendant, and eh.
We now have armor with that blue mail out of the dam.
Yeah, just continuing our safeties here.
Safeties and money.
Yeah, that's the name of this seed right now. As well as a pretty good amount of progression too. Moon Pearl away from having 2 fully completable Dark World dungeons.
Yeah, and I mean, do you change your route at all? Because I know traditionally we talk about Dark World routing as being, I'm going to start Hype Cave and then work over to like Digging Game or a Pod. Do you change that up given the fact that we have 2 clearable dungeons?
With the Tempered Sword, I'd be more tempted to. That's for me personally, like Moth is not a fun boss. And Tempered makes that really, really, quite easy to manage. So I'd be tempted to, but also what I like about the Hype Start is the quick map check to see, do I even need to really do Skullwoods?
Right.
I imagine we are going to see, we're going to see a water walk set up here. Good chance that Hobo is left behind here for, at the very least, Raylan, very possibly Ike here as well. Without a Moon Pearl, you want to go ahead and... It doesn't matter, we have flippers, never mind. Again, ignore me, dude.
I was going to say, given that we had those flippers, I'm surprised we didn't see the stored water walk from Raylan. And I wonder if we'll get that out of Ike here. So what you can do is once you get that water walk set up here in Ice Rod Cave, if you jump off the diagonal right there instead of the down, you will swim, but when you jump down the waterfall, you'll be in a water walk.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised by it too. I do like, the using the dash to get to Hobo, just because Hobo is so stinking slow. And he does have our lamp, so we technically have Aga access, and we don't know what's on that lumberjack. So
Aga doesn't exist. I have mountain access.
Good point. I can't wait for Moon Pearl to be on Pyramid Ledge, or even better, on Lumberjack.
Wow. Where's this vindictiveness coming from?
I just want chat to be happy. And the crazier the seed, the happier chat is.
So we did get a little bit of divergence here. Ike here skipping Hobo for now. So far, we haven't seen anything from the Zora area, though, so nothing at all. The scams keep coming.
So yeah, Flipper's just kind of providing that lamp for right now, which, you know, is a big deal, but not as huge a deal as it could be. It's possible that Ikir just picks it up right here, or just ignores it and says, you know what, whatever, I have mirror, I'll get it later when I have Dark World access.
Yeah, maybe just hoping it's not a Pearl.
I don't hate that. I mean, he knows that he is mountain access away from having a ton logically up there. And as far as density goes, you know, Saha's Closet is the better decision.
As we do get our first bottle. And Ike here is not saving and quitting here. And we are going to get that look at the Lumberjack now. I think the presence of the lamp might be sending Rail in here, as well as just the fact that he's going to go. And it's just a green rupee.
Gross. You know, though, I'm intrigued by this play by Ike here. I don't hate it, but I am intrigued by it, to say the least. Raylan, I think, realizing, oh snap, I skipped Bonk Rocks twice now. So going back to that before he heads up the mountain.
Yeah, gonna have a nice laugh of, oh, wait, I skipped just more money.
I mean, especially post-Zora, more money doesn't hurt.
Yeah, and realistically, having, you know, at this point, 900 free rupees just from those 3 isn't a bad feeling. Not to mention the fact that apparently our bush crabs were dropping 20s.
Again, safeties and cash. That is this seat.
Yeah, we're already up to 6 and 7 hearts respectively. We got a bottle, we've got powder. There's not a lot else you'd want to be able to get through most of the seed.
No, not really. I mean, other than just the required items to beat the seed. We're in a pretty good place here. And so far, you know, old man just kind of being like, hey, go shoot something with the things that you don't have to shoot them with. You know, in Eastern Palace, we found 2 items, but not anything useful.
Yeah, early big key's nice. But lack of a bow is kind of, you know, are we going to get something valuable out of here?
I think the concern too is early big key is better for Raylan than it is for Ike here. You know,
we had a pendant skull and a green pendant ice palace, and I believe our other 5-6 there was at swamp.
That's what I believe I saw as well. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, until we find that moon pearl, Spike Cave, well, never mind. Hello.
French vanilla pearl, of course. Now the question is, are you going to prioritize hitting Spike Cave? As Raylan says, that's all I wanted out of Hera. I don't care, and I don't blame him. Like,
I don't blame him either.
It's pendant Hera. You know that either a small key or a big key's in the chest. I don't want to go for it.
No, I don't blame him at all. There's our 4th sword. Wow. Okay. Well, to answer your question, I don't hate the Spike Cave play, but definitely after East Death Mountain. You know, you can hit the bomb jump up after Paradox Cave and run back over. With boots, it's not too drastic. You find mitts, it gets even better though, because then you get Super Bunny, the first chest of Hookshot Cave with it as well. And you know, if our runners can hover, get the rest of Hookshot Cave.
And it does look like Ike here is going to make the play up the mountain now as well. So
yeah,
a little bit behind, still lacking that lamp.
He did turn in a bottle there on Sick Kid, but I did not see what It was, so I'm going to assume nothing of relative use. Heart piece. Thank you, chat, and our awesome tracker, Will WC, the man himself. He will not forget to track Ike's side.
And there's more safety with our red mail.
And it looks like Raylan is going to, potentially leave Spike Cave for right now. We'll see if he... No, yeah, he's saying bye. I'm going to the Dark World.
And I don't hate this play. I mean, Spike Cave, getting back to it, not that it's a bad idea, it's just a little bit slower. And I think there's definitely a need or a desire to just go quickly throughout this one.
Yeah, I don't blame them too. I think it also depends on who, your comfort level against the person you're playing against too, right? Do you feel like you should be more thorough, or do you feel like you need to gamble some skips? Alright, so we know that Skullwoods is in fact a pendant. I know a lot of runners, say treat the front of Skullwoods as if it were, overworld, and it does look like Raylan is going to at least be doing the front here. I think this is a really, really solid idea.
I am surprised a little bit, heading here first. I feel like this is a very conservative move given how aggressive he's been on the rest of his plays, though.
Yeah, and we may see him, not stay for very long, but heading to the back here to the statue pull room where this is more than likely going to be a key of sorts. I'm gonna be curious to see if he decides to go for the boss or not.
Yeah, and I mean, the question becomes, if you don't get any keys or anything of, okay, so you get your first key, are you like, you're spending the time on this, how much do you want to invest? Like, if we get one item or no items here in the front of Skull, I know it's rare, do you go to the back?
If I were to go to the back, I would have done so, I think, right then pulling that key. I don't know if I like the back and forth, but also it just depends on how heavily you want to follow that fire rod that you got so early.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing we know we need that fire rod for is, of course, Turtle Rock and the Seed. The other two Firelock dungeons really don't require it.
No, and yeah, it looks like both of our items, we may have an item here in the big chest, but we've we're guaranteeing that there is an item fire locked, and it looks like both items are fire locked in this case.
I didn't mean it when I said it. I really didn't want that to happen.
No, and Raylan's saying no to the back and forth, also saying, "You know what? Fine. I've already taken this time. I'm out. I'm over it."
Is going to play a little aggressive, though, not checking out Bumper, Graveyard, or King's Tomb.
Yeah, and I don't blame him for that. He's gonna make a decision after this about if he wants to go, north or south after VOO and Thieves Town. With those flippers, he can get over to Catfish as well. And having already done Zora, that's a check that is going to be isolated if you don't really lump it in with something else.
Yeah, that's the difficult part. Like, I feel like if you went and did that Bumper, that north side real quick, and then come back, like, I don't think you isolate those. In this case, it's going to be really easy to isolate those checks.
Yeah, and this is another kind of situation where, like, that Hype Cave west play kind of incentivizes you to go north after VOO anyway. So, but again, that's also, choosing to be thorough. And, we've seen from Raylan, like, he is playing aggressively, pulling a Bombos there, which could very well be, an entrance to Mire Turtle Rock. I believe that's the second item we have found here in the front, the first one just being junk.
And Ike here also heading back to Skull Woods real quick.
Yeah, we'll have to see if he decides to go for Moth. It does look like he's skipping the front for right now, so he's gonna get that small key first from the statue bush.
Yeah, and if he does the back, he will be able to skip the front entirely.
I like just saying, "I have half magic, forget all these Gibdo, like, I'm done." Just murder them all.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I mean both of our runners are quite skilled and could have gone for like the pull and the push and avoiding any of that, but Ike here also grabbing that key and heading to the front.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't hate this decision. It'll just be a question of after finding nothing here in the front, what is he going to do? We'll have one less back and forth than Raylan because Raylan did start in the front and then go back and then back to the front. Um, it'll be interesting to say the least.
Yeah, definitely a tough call to see what we're gonna get here out of Ike here on this play. At the same time, Ike here did make the Eastern play for nothing, did skip Hobo, so I wonder if there's a certain feeling of I've made some skips already or like some investments. Do I want to push this one even further?
Yeah, gonna pull that compass here from the big chest, and we'll have our answer here fairly shortly, as Raylan is just breezing through Leavestown really quickly. Pulling a shovel, we are hammer locked. It doesn't matter because we have the hammer, but just interesting knowledge.
Well, that will work out nicely for Raylan's route after Thievestown heading south to Hype Cave.
Yeah, agreed. With that mirror, what may make this even potentially nicer as far as um, being like thorough in your clears will be mitts here very shortly.
We did see, of course, a heart piece on our graveyard ledge, so cape not required.
Yeah, and that's good news. I mean, Cape is again a nice safety, but with Burno already in the mix, not necessary. And really nice blind strike on Raylan's side here, taking out blind just as they are entering the sunlight.
And we've got a mushroom off of graveyard ledge, so
I wouldn't be shocked to see Aikir go ahead and mirror um, on the way to Catfish and turn that in as well if he continues this north route here.
yeah, I'll be curious. That definitely does provide some incentive to head the rest of the way to Catfish.
Yeah, unfortunately, so far a whole lot of nothing here, other than just fetch quest cities.
Yeah, and it's what we're really looking for. What they're looking for is where are my mitts? Where's my bow? Those are the two big ones right now.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. It does look like Aikir is heading back. He's gonna worry about this fully beatable crystal in Thievestown first. Again, only gonna be pulling the shovel from here, but it is a crystal added to his counter.
Yeah, and what we might see from both of our runners, and I think this works out a little bit better for Ike here right now, is being able to kind of extend this route either to pod or to Catfish. And for Ike here, that does mean Potion Chop for the mushroom.
This is true, yeah. No hook shot as of yet to be able to kind of get back over, but even then you'd have some weird back and forth, which isn't super fun. Ooh, finding a book here, on K45 that is gonna give us bumper or not bumper, excuse me, Bombo's tablet, at kind of like, near the end of this, circle here for Raylan.
And do you go and clear desert, I guess, at that point?
Oh, man, I mean, it's fully beatable.
Yeah,
You know Oh, hello, Ice Rod. I wouldn't say no, Hype Cave into,
into
Bombo's Tablet.
Bombos, Desert
Yeah.
Palace, Desert Ledge, and ending at Agina.
Yeah, I don't dislike that at all, actually. Okay, now can I ask you a question? And you may not have, the answer really handy or not. I'm just curious more than anything. So we saw Raylan just now walk, or I should say run, kind of up the screen and around, as opposed to picking up the rock and dashing through. Do you know off the top of your head which one is the faster decision? Because one has more screen transitions, but the other has grass.
I was gonna say the other thing is just the better dash lines on the north, I would have thought.
See, and it's curious to me because the dash lines aren't super bad. You just have that as an issue of, the RNG giving you a skull in the grass as you're trying to dash.
That and the bomber enemies are never exactly great to deal with.
Yeah. I guess the way to say it is the up and around is more consistent, but the rock one, if you get okay RNG, is potentially faster.
Probably. So nothing off Bombo's tablet, and yep, Braylon is going to make his way over to the desert area, or the rest of the way in the desert.
Yeah, I do like this as well. You know, getting that book, it's kind of pointing you in this direction. I just hope that it doesn't end up being, a bait, I guess. You do have Meyer as a crystal, so you're going to be able to beat Landmo later. It's just, is the book pushing you to come here right now?
I mean, worst case, the other thing we can check, of course, Ether tablet's not too bad, and we did talk about Spike Cave earlier. So Spike Cave also looking pretty attractive.
Yeah, I agree. Although I will say we're probably not going to see. Oh, Raylan saw the small key and said no for a second, but there's items on that right side of the desert. Um, I'm. I imagine we're not going to see them rush the mountain again yet. We're like I think that they're going to be waiting for mids to be able to do just a hair more up there.
Oh, of course. I mean, I would not expect either runner to want to go back up there anytime soon. I feel like that becomes a last location with Hera.
Yeah, I agree. And Raylan pulling the first desert item from the big chest there, he is going to make the gamble that the second item is on Landmolus, and if not, he'll run back in for the right side to get the second item on his way out to Agina.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that become a more common play. I want to say we saw this a lot during the main tourney recently.
Yeah, and I do like this, especially if you have to beat Landmo anyway. I do want to throw out there, Aikir had a really stellar blind script as well. And yeah, we'll be following in Raylan's footsteps here a bit. It's definitely a smart decision here, to just go ahead and keep following the circle, especially since you've already done the north. We'll have to see if Aikir decides to follow Raylan into desert or if he will continue east.
Yeah, I think the allure of a dungeon is going to be a little hard for Aikir to ignore here.
Right. Alright, so there is an item on Brightside Desert. Raylan will definitely be running back in there to, see whatever that is and then hop down for Agina. We'll see a save and quit from there and, just where does he go next?
Yeah, and that'll be the interesting question, especially given what the real difference here is. Just Ike here's been a little more thorough with things. Making that Eastern play a little early that didn't pay out. Um, Checking North Dark World. He's not real far behind. It's just these little choices so far.
Yeah, exactly. Just like you said, just being a little bit extra thorough. And, you know, it's unfortunate that the Eastern Big Key was as early as it was. Again, like, unfortunate for Ike here, I should say. Second item there being a heart container in desert. Because that's a potentially go mode for Raylan.
Now, Ike here heading to Bombo's tablets first. I wonder if he skips Hype Cave for now to do Hype Cave to north or to the north east portion right after Desert.
Yeah, I don't dislike that either because it's giving you a play to do afterwards as opposed to kind of just like, do I do pyramid? Do I do pod? Now it's like, all right, I've got these 5 checks here. Nope, he's saying no to desert for right now.
And we know that that's not a terrible play at this point.
No, and he may be thinking also that he wants to see what that hobo item is too. So we're more than likely going to see him hop down on the other side of the hammer peg bridge here, mirror on that little spot there, and he'll pull his lamp here shortly.
But here's Ether Tablet over on Raylan's side, so making that quick return back up the mountain.
And nothing from that book. That book was really just, unfortunately, a bait. He is going to give us Spike Cave, it looks like here, though, as well.
Well, and then, of course, do you have any incentive to finish the back of Skull and read Ped?
Maybe? It's so tough because, you have a lot in pod you can do, but again, that's dipping a dungeon without, dipping a dungeon without the ability to fully complete it, which doesn't always feel great. And as aggressively as we've been seeing Raylan play, I don't think that that's what he will do. It looks like Skullwoods is going to be his decision here.
Yeah, that's definitely the impression I'm getting just from that start point. That and North Dark World, one of those two, I think, is what we're about to see.
Yeah, and he may do, like we had mentioned before, that kind of swim over to Catfish and getting that mushroom where he's going to get it. Okay. I'm guessing Raylan wasn't sure if he had gotten the Bottle Thunder?
Definitely have seen it happen. I think we've all had those moments.
Yeah, definitely, things like that you don't want to miss. Ike, you're going ahead, and he is going to dip a second dungeon here without the ability to fully complete it. I don't hate dipping pod. It's, 4 to 5 items, as well as the knowledge of bow locked, but I don't know. It's intriguing to me.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this. This definitely feels like a gamble this early, where you're just like, you've already gambled one crystal dungeon. You've skipped a crystal dungeon you could full clear. So I'm not entirely sure myself.
No, and I think honestly for Raylan too, now that I'm thinking about this more, the decision to come to Skull Woods is honestly a pretty good play. You not only get that ped read, but you are also getting 2 items here. And wow, Ike here pulling bow from the shooter room chest.
So, I mean, in our infinite combined wisdom as a commentating duo, we were wrong.
We were. We absolutely were.
Although that Quake medallion in Skull is very interesting.
That could be a thing. We're unfortunately missing, a couple of items to know exactly how much of a thing it could be, but, wow. So, this is something.
Well, and I'll say the one beneficial side for Ike here is we know that there's 2 items in Skull still, so there's definitely that incentive to possibly go back for it. It's not like this is the one item in Skull Woods that's left. This is one of 2 items.
Yeah, this is true, and, you know, we are going to see, Ike here go back into Eastern after this just to beat Armos and get that final crystal. Not final crystal, but to get that crystal from him. Nothing on Moth of fun, so just the Quake Medallion in the bridge chest there. In chat, are you ready for a ped check?
Yeah, there's definitely a few things it could be. We'll see if any of them do appear, though. Oh yeah, heart container. Oh wait, that's
Oh,
not a big deal.
baby. I mean, don't you want 17 hearts?
I'm not our teammate.
That's fair. Yeah. Yes, chat, it is unfortunate, but Ped is in fact dead as Aikir pulls the mitts from Harmless Hellway.
Yeah, he gambled that one. Usually you make sure you've got an extra key, or like you know that it's something. Instead, Aikir just goes and pulls it. There's obviously the key to put it as a check that doesn't have just a key.
Yeah, he was just like, nah, we'll just open it. Why not? Yeah, at this point, we're still decently far-ish from go mode still. You know, we are in need of a hookshot, a cane of Samaria, a flute, and potentially an ether medallion.
Yeah, definitely all possibilities. Now, the one question I have, given Raylan is running out of locations to check, I do see this route leading to Catfish, but he's also been very, you know, objective in trying to stay away from things he couldn't complete, it feels like.
Yeah, and so at what point does that, you know, pod shooter room become a bit of a, I don't want to say a last location, but a near the end of his location? I'm curious though, do you hear, you know, if you're Raylan and you do Catfish, do you run back down to Pyramid and into Pod, or do you say, nah, forget it, I'm, you know, just gonna go straight to Pod?
If I'm going to go to Catfish, I might do Pyramid first. That's the hard part. Running from Catfish always feels extra slow. It might not be all that slow, but it just feels like it takes forever.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that. I think just because it feels like there's like a billion screen transitions. There's not a billion, but it sure feels like it. Yeah, we are getting that shroom turn in here. And a cool little nifty thing you can do here by pressing or putting your mirror in that bottom nook of the bushes there, you can mirror bonk and that counts as your screen transition for turning in the mushroom.
And we got nothing off that mushroom.
No, and Raylan doesn't even have any bottles to be able to, you know, maximize the visit there. So
Well, and that does
little
raise the question,
unfortunate.
is Raylan's caution about Pod right now given his lack of a bottle? I don't
I mean,
know
that's possible.
the tricks he definitely has. A lot of our runners in the Invitational League definitely feel good about a Mimic Clip. I do not know Raylan's own comfort with that.
Yeah, and that's honestly a fair assessment here. And he is going to go ahead and run back. More than likely going to hit a Pyramid real fast on his way to Pod.
Yeah, this could... I think the only thing that takes him away from that is if he finds a hook shot.
Yeah, that would be, kind of the big thing for sure, because that's gonna push him into swamp. Yeah, Ikir finishing up pod is mirroring to, go and fight the Armos Knights really quickly. Um, shouldn't be too long, and at that point, he's gonna have mids. Um, he's got a lot that he could do here.
Yeah, Mitz really opens up the game.
Oh, there's the second bow.
Oh my god.
So,
I'm
gonna
think
say, yeah,
Ikir gets silvers in this seed.
I don't think so either. Unless, Pyramid Fairy happens to have a thing.
I mean, we're still hookshot away from that.
Yeah, we are. I mean, at this point, what could really be in there would be a flute or a Kina Samaria, perhaps Ether Medallion, but oh man, yeah, I think you're right. I don't think Ikir gets silvers unless Pyramid Fairy is a thing. I'm not gonna lie, I always love seeds like this though, where because we don't have the progressive bows or I'm sorry, because we do have progressive bows, forgive me, um, where both runners can find a different bow, and that being what it is.
Yeah, definitely an interesting contrast. Of course, we are still going through SGL qualifiers, where we do not have progressive bows. So always cool to get the blast from the past.
And Raylan gonna have a moment here of, oh, when he pulls these silver arrows. Ikir's bow was right here. Oh, so Ikir is going back into the pod portal here. He's gonna be doing pyramid and catfish.
I'm sure he would have appreciated having those silvers for Armos.
This is really funny to me though, especially since he is in fact going to be getting those silvers. I don't know how you see them this early and not pick them up, but that's really quite hilarious to me.
Yeah, and we do know it's going to help out at least for Vitreous and Ganon. Those are two fights that will greatly benefit from it.
I would throw in Landmo in there too, but let's be honest, Tempered Sword, Half Magic, Fire Rod, it's pick your poison on how you want to beat Landmo.
Yeah, we definitely have all the options for Landmolus now.
Yeah, at this point, we've got Dark Death Mountain, and really we only have 3 checks on Dark Death Mountain because we can't get into Turtle Rock. We have Smith Chain, which again, just 3 checks. And we have, we like Hookless Swamp, that's where we're at.
Well, and here's I
Alice
think for Ikir, this is almost an easier play on potentially making the DDM call. Ikir not doing Ether Tablet, not doing Spike Cave, still has that additional item inherit as well. Those 3 items combined with the DDM checks might feel a little bit stronger for him. I think for Raylan, it's a little bit more up in the air. He's done Desert Palace. He has cleared most of Death Mountain besides those easy DDM checks. I feel like there's more of an incentive on his end.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see what happens here, but It's interesting because I feel like there's almost been a slight swing, but not really because Raylan does still have that desert finish. Ikir will be able to do that with Meyer unless he heads there right now. Where are we going? We're going to desert.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. We did find out that, desert was not going to provide us with any progression yet, so.
Yeah, I mean, really in Ikir's case, again, it's which 3 checks do you want to have? Do you want to do the Desert 3 checks, the Smith Chain 3 checks, the Dark Death Mountain 3 checks,
Well, and for Raylan, I think Smith might be the play. On his end, he's gonna have he just got a couple of bottles, so sick kids available, as well as the Smith Chain. So you got Smith, Hammer Pegs, and Purple Chest, and sick kids. So there's 4 checks for him as kind of. I think that might be his next move here. I don't love Ice Palace, honestly, if I'm in their shoes.
Interestingly enough, though, Ice Palace is technically the densest location at this point with Green Pendant, but also, ew.
Well, and that's the hard part. We don't talk too much about logic. I don't feel like it's something we go over a ton in these kinds of formats. But how much do you want to gamble a dungeon where you're missing 2 items that relate to the logic of it?
Right. And that's a good point too. Like that's the thing though, is you don't know if that Samaria and Hookshot are going to be required until you get in there.
Yeah, and then the question becomes, well, how good is your logic of Ice Palace?
Answer? If it's Samaria locked, great. If it's Hookshot locked, eh?
Exactly, and a lot of runners will definitely tell you that is, you ask a lot and they'll be like, I don't know when this dungeon's hookshot locked.
I mean, I think the big problem with it is because there's 3 different ways that could show that it's hookshot locked, and they are all interdependent on your key layout, and it just gets wonky.
Yeah.
I'm with Will. Ice Palace is hook locked when Vortex tells me it is.
Right, and that's the thing, there's definitely a few runners who really grasp that key logic very, very cleanly, and there are plenty of us on the other side, myself included, who will go, I can figure it out, but don't test me on it.
Right, exactly. Like, I think this is hookshot locked, but I can't guarantee it because I'm not 100% on it.
Nice silver Landmo there from Mike here.
Yeah, showing use of those silvers early. And like I said, with Landmo, it's a pick your poison at this point of how you want to destroy him. Do what you can to get the 1 cycle if possible. Alright, so really quickly, while we are seeing our runners kind of follow in each other's footsteps here, let's kind of recap where we are, where we've been, how we're doing. For those of you just joining or have joined in the past, I don't know, 50-ish minutes, my name is Leoria. I'm joined in the commentating booth by Radical Sniper 99. We are in week 3 of the ALTTPR League. Kaz Boots is the mode of the week. We've got Oops Tavares auch nicht versus Don't Forget to Track Us, Raylan Tankier and Ikir respectively. Both teams really looking to pull out a victory this week. Unfortunately, Oops is at 0-4 so far, having fought, or I should say raced against 2 very tough teams in their first 2 weeks. And Don't Forget to Track Us being 2-2.
Yeah, one of the big things here, of course, is for the league this season for Invitational League. What you want to do is you want to finish top 4 in your division. Top 4 from each division do make the playoffs, whereas the team finishing at the bottom of the division is not guaranteed an invite back to next season for Invitational.
Now, I do think it's important to note that that does not mean that they will not be in Invitational next year. It's just that they are not guaranteed the invite. You know, and I know I mentioned earlier about that early big key potentially being really great for Raylan, but he did end up having to just go ahead and go all the way through anyway because we're still, you know, 3 to 4 items from go mode.
Yeah, at this point, you really don't. I think he's, you know, he's made some gambles a little early that hadn't worked out. So in some ways, I think he's like, okay, I have to check this. We're running out of things that are feeling like they're going to be the right call. So let's go with this. Meanwhile, Ike here is going to give us our first look at DDM. We are going to find out if that Quake medallion out of Skull Woods is necessary. That is definitely an advantage on Raylan's side. And we're also going to get to check out the... Maybe we'll get a gold sword. I doubt it at this point. But we do have 3 items to check. And we need Quake.
We do need Quake. So at some point, Ike here is going to have to go into the back of Skull Woods to get his Quake medallion from the bridge. And yeah, Raylan using silvers to take out these Armos Knights just super quickly. Super Bunny Cave, no progression, just $40 in total.
Yeah, we're gonna get to see that the bonk shot chest in Hookshot Cave. We'll see if it lives up to that name. I think the worst case here is almost if we find Cane of Samaria, actually.
Yeah, this is true. Uh-oh. Accidentally picking up the skull instead of doing the bonk against it.
I think we've all done that before.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and Ike here is saying bye. Not going to attempt any kind of hovering shenanigans.
And we're going to get quite the divergence here. Ike here, checking out Tower of Hera, it looks like, getting that second item, and Raylan into Ice Palace.
I like this on both runner sides. You know, for Ike here, you're hoping to not have to deal with, you know, Death Mountain again until Turtle Rock. You know, on Raylan's side, like I had said earlier, this is one of his most dense plays, and you'll be able to find out really quickly if it is Hookshot or Samaria locked. Or both?
That does mean I believe we're Hookshot locked.
Yeah, with the big key right there, I think you're right. I think to not be Hookshot locked, I think there has to be a small key, but also, I don't know.
Oh, wow!
There's Samaria in the Compass Chest of Hera, so that is really great for Ike here. You know, he still can't get into Turtle Rock. He is missing that Quake medallion, but that is a big find.
Yeah, Pendant Hera striking again right now. That is, you know, and that's one of those items that is just so, I don't want to say it's easy to miss, but it doesn't change a lot. You know, you could go into Mire right now, or you might be able to go into Mire once you get Flute. You could do pretty much every other dungeon except for those last 2.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, like, neither of them, oh, Raylan, that's really unfortunate. You know, both runners did the same thing. Like, they got the Moon Pearl and said, you know what, bye. And it wasn't a bad call.
No, and I think a lot, you know, especially at this level, you go, what little time can I save? And when do you ever expect 2 progression items in a pendant dungeon like that? especially
Especially
Hera.
yeah, especially a pendant dungeon where it literally only has 2 items.
Hera Big Key was actually on the main floor, with the compass chest having our Cane of Samaria.
Let's see, and Ike here checking really quick of if he even needs to worry about this ped and maybe, beating Moth. I
But the,
imagine
but the
Go ahead.
big thing for Ikir here is going to be, acquiring Quake Medallion. The
And I
one
think
advantage we really had for
yeah.
Raylan here kind of just has slipped away.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these guys are definitely giving us a show, this is not a, one-side blowout. This has been very back and forth. I wouldn't be shocked if we see and I wouldn't have been shocked to see Ike here say, "Forget it, I don't want to deal with Skullwoods," but he also knows there's still 1 item in here. It's not anything, but, you know, it's good to know. He may not, pick up the pendant, though. He may see the bombs dropping, pick them up, and then save and quit.
Now, the interesting question here I have for you, Leo, is where do you go if you're Ikir?
Turtle Rock.
You go immediately to Turtle Rock as well?
Oh, absolutely. Because at this point, you know, that's a crystal you can beat. That's, information as far as like what are you going to find there. You absolutely do Turtle Rock. Like, yeah, you just did a bunch on Death Mountain. Yes, it sucks having to do it the slow way. Yeah, and I called it. He saw the bombs, got them, and said, "Bye, I don't want the pendant."
Yep. That's definitely a smart play of having pre-red ped.
Yeah, that was a very good decision on Aikir's side. Something I don't know if I would necessarily think of myself. Like, that's really well done. Oh, getting eaten by the back of the old man cave.
Hey, we got boots.
Yo, nice.
Yeah, one of the little things for casual boots in the league is if you find that green 20, those were your boots. It doesn't mean that's logically boots, by the way.
No, you don't need to have found that for any of your boots checks to be in logic. The game understands, yes, I am starting with boots.
Yes, and that does lead to some very funny situations, like putting a 20 on a torch.
Okay, so all 3 items in Ice Palace were on that right side, and Raylan had a moment of, "Do I keep going?" and said, "No." He ended up mirroring and then saving and quitting. Um, where to now? I'm guessing Smith Chain.
Well, and the interesting piece here is for Raylan, I think there's definitely some smarts behind the play going, I know it's hookshot locked, that's pretty limiting. And then I don't know, was it also Samaria locked? Did we
I
get both small
It may
keys?
have been. I think he only got 1 of the 2 small keys.
So I think in his position, he can easily say, hey, I know it's both of those locked. The only thing really Green Pendant could be is that flute.
Yeah, this is a really good point. That would be really gross, but it is a thing.
Ike here being very astute. We've all done it. Forgetting sometimes I don't have hookshot. Ike here remembers and takes the long way around the torches.
He does not have to do the loop of shame. Alright, pulling our first item in that heart piece out of Turtle Rock. There are a total of 5 items here.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I never count how many items are in these dungeons.
Nope.
There's a few dungeons I keep in mind the number of items, but when I get to like Pod, Swamp, and TR, I'm kind of just like, nope, there's items, and I'm full clearing the dungeon either way, pretty much.
I almost think I keep track more of did I get map and compass than the number of items I've gotten.
Pretty much.
Now, if it's a like, if it's a pendant, I'm a bit more astute about that because do I really wanna have to do the boss in either of these situations? But yeah.
But here we go with that smith chain. That is new information for us.
What will the bullfrog have today? There's our flute!
Wow, okay. So we're a hookshot and potentially ether medallion from go mode. The big problem, of course, is does this send Raylan further away from Cana Samaria?
You know, I wonder, like, if he has access to Misery Mire, does he dip it?
I think if you're looking for like something to help Raylan here, almost hope for like a hook shot coming up soon. If he finds the hook shot, it definitely sends him up the mountain for DDM checks and might incentivize a Harapod.
Yeah, this is a really, really great point because at this point, you know, that's where we're at. We are gonna get this purple chest turn in really, really quickly here.
Although
Um,
I say that and I realize there is actually a equally bad scenario there where hookshot sends Raylan to Swamp Palace.
oh yeah, and let's be honest here, that's gonna happen first. But oh man,
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look at the scenarios here for, you know, where Raylan goes. Like, obviously, he's going to check Mire area here.
oh yeah,
And I know chat's still saying it's in Swamp Palace. Obviously, this is going to be vanilla or French vanilla hookshot, but... And it's
okay,
Bombos.
we do have it. Yep. So
Yeah.
no ether medallion today. We are officially hookshot from go mode. That does mean that Pyramid Fairy is officially dead.
And really, whichever runner finds hookshot first could cause them to further isolate the item they need. You know, Raylan finding hookshot sends him further away from Samaria. Ikir finding hookshot sends him further away from Flute. Like,
Yeah,
whoever
really.
finds that first is going to full clear Swamp Palace at this rate.
Honestly, at this point, for both of them, a French vanilla hookshot would be the best case scenario.
And here's what you talked about. Raylan heading into Mire without Cane of Samaria.
It's gross, but at this point, like, with the knowledge he has, like, this isn't a bad play. You're following the flute.
Right. I mean, what does he have left, really? At this point, you know, we know that Ice Palace won't have it on Green Pendant. Swamp Palace always feels bad without hookshot, and he's got only the 3 checks on DDM and 1 item in Hera. But we
It's
are
just
getting the
super.
laser bridge now on Ikir's side.
Ooh, that was a dicey little dance there at the edge.
And really, Turtle Rock not paying out today.
No, there is still an item, I believe, here on Trinex, but, you know, it's again, like, the best case scenario for both of them is a French vanilla hook shot because, you know, then you're there anyway and you've cleared just about everything else.
And question in chat, both runners are panicking now. I don't use the word panic too much. I think you at this level you kind of get used to the idea that there's going to be some tough items to find, but there's definitely always that lingering feeling of, I think there's definitely some things I could have done differently. What did my opponent do? What did I miss? You know, you almost always see, oh, my opponent of course could have found the God route through this one.
Yeah, and it's something that sticks in your brain, but the best advice I ever got was just play your game, you know? We do have a vanilla big key in Meyer, but just play your game. Don't like try not to stress about what your opponent may have done, what your opponent is doing, you know, because the more that gets into your head, the more it starts to, you know, mess with your gameplay and your decision making.
Yeah, it's the important part to always think about is just my opponent and I are both going to just do a play, and it's just, sometimes you find that right item at the right time and it can send you on just the worst path possible. It's not even that you're thinking about that being the bad thing, but some items do that even though they feel great in the moment.
I'm guessing here that Ikir did not, after pulling the Samaria from Hera, he did not do Spike Cave. It must have slipped his mind at the time. Yeah, at this point, we do know that Green Pendant is dead as far as hookshot goes because we're pretty sure that Ice Palace is hookshot locked.
Still waiting to see that second item out of Meyer. We did get the first one, which was our baby shield. And are we getting... I think we're getting Ice Palace from Ike here. And
Yeah,
Ike
for
here
him,
being
this
flute and
yeah.
hookshot away, he will not leave after getting that big key saying that it's hookshot locked.
You know, though, I wonder if he will. I wonder if he will when he realizes, you know, like, he is going to obviously, like, be checking here. He is gonna ice break, but, you know, I wonder if he will recognize, like, it is hookshot locked.
And it is not in Meyer, at least not yet. And here comes
Oh.
the swamp dip from Raylan.
Chat's pointing out here, Green Pendant is only Samaria locked. It is not hookshot locked.
Really?
Because there were 3 items on hookshot lock side.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just thinking now.
Yeah, I
Key
know,
logic in ice is so complicated.
It's so weird, yeah, but I'm gonna trust the people who, you know, have been playing this game longer than me, for sure. Because, yeah, there were the 3 items in Ice Palace are here on hookshot locked side, so they would be hookshot locked, but beating Vidi would not be.
Yeah, very interesting.
Alright, chat, you've been waiting for it. Here is the Swamp Palace play by Raylan. A race to find the hookshot.
And yeah, chat, is right. 3 items on hookshot lock side. So...
Good grief. So it could be on Green Pendant.
And Ike here is able to just say, hey, I got 3 items. We're gone.
Yup. And I would be shocked if we don't see him mirror and run straight to Saha after this. Swim run? Run swim?
Yeah, probably quicker than the save and quit. And I think at this point, we really are down to either this little bit left of Swamp or Green Pendant or Vidi.
Yeah, it's... Oh, man. This is quite the seed. You know, definitely, as nice as it was early on, fitting the mold of really nice sea early on is going to drag later on. Alright, so we are Samaria locked officially.
For Ike here to go back to the Smith, I think it's right after Green Pennant. I don't think he has much left.
No, you are absolutely right. I think he does this, and then he'll get his flute, and then he'll be going to Mire. He won't get to Swamp just yet.
And even if this is hookshot on Green Pendant, I think there's a decent chance, even with the full clear of Swamp Palace, he does Swamp Palace into Smith Chain.
Yeah. I don't disagree.
Like, I think an additional
Moment of
mountain
truth.
climb for Ike here at this point. Oh my god, it's Green
Oh,
Pendant Ice.
that's really unfortunate for Raylan. That is 100% going to be his last location.
Yeah, there's no way he's rushing Green Pendant. And, like, that's 2 last locations now for Raylan.
Yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. I mean, yes, Ikir still needs to get his flute. He is gonna full clear swamp here looking for it, but at the same time, he's not double dipping swamp.
Or
Um,
Ice.
or
Or
ice.
Mire.
Or Mire.
Like, and
He
that's
yeah.
the hard part here is just, you know, Ike here had did the double dip of Eastern that Raylan was able to avoid. But they both double dipped Skullwoods.
Both
But
will
it's
have to
gonna
double dip
be,
Hera.
yeah, it's gonna be these double dips of not necessarily slow dungeons, but in the grand scheme of things, these are going to be slow double dips. Swamp Palace is a setup to get in and out with the water. Ice Palace, even with Icebreaker, is still a long way to get to Cold Stare and then go turn the Green Pendant. And then Mire, you know, still a relatively fast dungeon, but these are just factors adding up one by one. And here we go. Here's the Dark Death Mountain play for Raylan.
I mean, I imagine he hits up Hera along the way here, right?
I think after DDM checks. Like, I think you do DDM into Hera. Like, for him, I think this is his last location.
Man, this has been a rough seed here.
Oh, wow,
He's
Hera
going for
first. So Hookshot was on our Green Pendant turn in. So yeah, Raylan is going to get his Cane of Samaria here in Hera out of the Compass chest. Then we'll see a full clear of Turtle Rock. Ike here working through Swamp Palace. The last thing for Ike here now is just to go to Smith and get his flute off of Jeremiah.
Yeah, this man, again, like this was such a pleasant seed at the beginning, and it has been one loop after another after about about the 30-minute mark. I think Raylan might be a little bit frustrated with that Samaria.
Just a little. It's a rough one. I don't think, you know, there's little reassurance in knowing that both you and your opponent will have missed that one for a while.
Right. And, you know, I don't blame him for trying to excavate Death Mountain there for his hook shot, truthfully. You know, and he may see this Quake medallion here for entry and feel, you know, at least somewhat decent about it, knowing that it was, you know, deep independent skull. But unfortunately, it's just not enough of a bonus at this point. Now, I know we found the map early on in the map chest of Swamp Palace. I am curious, though, I can't remember if we found the compass or not.
We found the big
When
key, I know that much.
Yes. I mean, I have to imagine that Ikir goes back in.
I don't see a scenario where he doesn't. Honestly, at this point, it's just there's so little left. I think he knows he has to check left side just with how much he's done. And honestly, what does he have left besides left side and Smith chain?
A whole lot of that's it. Could see Pyramid Fairy, yeah.
Oh,
He'll
good
probably be
point.
Pyramid Fairy after this.
I completely forgot about it because we've been saying it's dead.
Yeah. Well, and it was dead as far as hookshot goes, but for him, looking for the flute, you know, we know that Pyramid Fairy is dead, but in Ikir's brain,
Well, and here's the other question. As chat brings up, we also have Pokeshot Cave on Ikir's side. Do you rush DDM again?
no, I don't think so.
You think you
I
would still do Smith chain first?
with with the mirror and the boots, yes, I think I would personally, mostly because these mountain climbs are really adding up quickly.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on this one. We've already had to make a couple of mountain trips. In Ikir's case, I think we're at 3, and we're at 3 for Ikir or Raylan as well. So I could see both of them saying, you know, I don't want to do it. Well,
I
Raylan,
think
this will clear out his mountain.
Yeah, I think also the thing to consider is on Aikir's side, he's flute from go mode. So if you get flute from the Smith chain, cool, really quick, like you're right there. And you just
Ikir? I don't think that bomb
Aikir?
went off.
We'll find out. Nope. Yeah, Shady, I'm not gonna lie. I think they're both in a mindset of if my last item is here, then I've lost. Like Raylan with his green pendant hook shot and Aikir with his um potentially his flute here.
And unfortunately, I feel like in this case, the hook shot is almost the bigger problem.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, if you're just joining us, Raylan is missing his hook shot, which is on green pendant from Ice Palace, and Aikir is missing his flute, which is on Jeremiah the Bullfrog.
And Raylan showing us why we all dislike sword beams in Mimic Cave.
Yup.
And yep, chat was right. Here comes the Pyramid Fairy. And really, we know it can't be anything. Maybe we get a bug net, but it's really not going to be anything that we need or want. We have all the safeties we could ever want. We have all the offensive firepower. We know where the fourth sword is. There's really not a thing we want.
2 bottles.
I think we have 3 of them. Because I believe
Ooh.
Aikir got a 3rd one on left side swamp.
1 bottle and a bug net.
Ether, right. We could find Ether.
Yeah, which, you know, does nothing except give Aikir peace of mind for when he does find his flute.
And that was a great dash set up by Aikir. Unfortunately, getting just completely trolled by that rock.
And a whole lot of nothing. So, all right, Aikir. Hookshot Cave or Smith Chain? And it is Smith Chain. Alright, so
Yeah.
we are going to be getting that flute and that go mode here really shortly for Ikir, and I'm so sorry I interrupted you.
No, I was about to say the same thing.
I mean, I'd say great minds think alike, but let's be honest, like, it was just the right thing to say.
Yeah.
Oh,
Not a
no!
ton of options here.
Don't know if you noticed that, but I'm pretty sure Raylan had turned off his, cape while going through, the doorway there, and it kind of made him stuck for a moment there. Just turned it on and turned it back off again to get unstuck.
Yeah, that's a really scary situation. Runners kind of forget every so often that that is a thing that you don't want to do.
Classic IT solution. Just turn it off and turn it back on again. Alright, so Raylan quickly taking down Trinex here, picking up his 5th crystal. And at this point, I think all he has left is green pendant turn-in. And Ikir hitting go at 124.51. Oh, there we go. Yeah, last item in Meyer as well. Yep.
Yeah, and that's an unfortunate one because he'll definitely go back to Meyer first. I don't think it really adds anything too much. Like, he has to beat Vidi as it is.
I mean, at least he knows it can't be here, so there's no point in trying to hover.
So yeah, at this point,
Right.
Ikir is like, where is my... Do I have the medallion? And he's
Yeah.
gonna be happy soon. I think he knows it. Like, the only thing it could have been was skipping purple chest.
Right. I mean, you still come and look really fast. Like, purple chest is just a quick flute away. Shoo-wee. Alright, and you called it. Raylan is going back for Vitreous.
On the plus side, there's nothing here that can send Raylan elsewhere. You know, for him, it is clearly the next play is going to have to be into ice.
Yeah, I really do think these are his 2 last locations. Man, yeah, this has been a very rough ending for both of our guys here. You know, this is you don't ever want to be in a situation where you're, you know, looking for your last item in a series of, you know, not great or checks that you've purposely skipped.
Definitely, this is one of those seeds where you know you've pretty much last location, multiple items, and every step of the way, it just never feels... You don't feel comfortable ever with that.
No, not at all. I mean, this is, you know, for a Kaz boot seed, you know, a seed where you are starting with, you know, one of the best mobility items in the game, you know, having go mode be at 124, and in Raylan's case, even going to be more than likely, you know, around the 130 mark, it doesn't feel good. Alright, Ikir getting his information that it is a vanilla big key, so he is going to be rushing that and making his way to Vidi.
Definitely is a positive when you can kind of get rid of that mystery of the location.
Yeah, I mean, look, if I'm going to have to do cutscene chest, I'd rather it be telegraphed.
Yeah, keep me away from having to guess that it's in cutscene or over in the chest next to the big chest. Nobody likes that location.
Yeah, no. All right, so Raylan picks up his 6th crystal here in Misery Mire, and we'll be heading to Ice Palace. Ike here, meanwhile, killing his spooky action for safety.
I don't think Ike here actually set up his spooky. To
He
be
may not
honest,
have.
I think he entered the portal for Mire from the left side.
Well, then Spooky was never alive in the first place.
And here we go, Raylan immediately heading into Ice Palace. So, yep, this is the last location for Raylan on this one. And he knows what he has to do.
I was gonna say, yeah, on the bright side, he is going to just straight up rush, just straight up rush, Cold Stare. Goodness, couldn't remember the name of the boss for a second there. Argvit Cold Stare?
The thing with the puffs that you kill many of.
Yeah, and the ice shield and the scary. Well, Argus has puffs.
That's the thing. That's why I understand why we would confuse Vidi, Argus, and Cold Stare. Like, there's multiple of them.
Eyeballs and puffs and things, oh my. Alright, so Aikir does get his 7th crystal, and gentlemen and ladies and non-binary folk in the chat, that means we have a bit of an unofficial game here. Choose a number between 1 and 22 about where you think the big key will be, and you'll get a shout out, I guess, maybe? We'll see. I'll have to look. No more internet points, but that's fine.
Yes, you will have our admiration for your ability to pick random numbers.
Yes, I will be very proud of you.
Believe me, that's worthwhile.
It is. It takes a lot to earn my my respect, and winning the GT Big Key guessing game. That's a way to do it.
And honestly, at this point, I don't think GT route's going to make too much of a difference. Usually there's that opportunity, but I just don't think there's... I think the spread's a little too great here on this one.
Yeah, I think you're right, unfortunately. I do love when chat goes into... like, and just joins in with the silliness that we we kind of added. Speaking of lunch, man, I'm hungry.
And no, we are not getting Gold Sword.
No, no. These guys don't need to get the gold sword. All it does is secure a 1-in-1 on Ganon. It's not that worth it in the grand scheme of things.
Well, a lot of the plus side, we do have Cape already, so it's definitely one of those situations you're like, I don't care.
Yeah, and there we go. Raylan at about 132.38, pulling his hookshot 4 go mode. It's a bit rough, but that's just how rando goes sometimes. Oh hey, Ether.
I mean, I think we pretty much full cleared the seed besides Hookshot Cave, so...
Yeah.
not too much of a surprise that we were gonna find it here in GT.
No, you're not wrong. Good chance also that our friendly neighborhood bug net is here as well. And there's our big key.
Yeah, that was number 4. Oof. And we get the small key. Wow.
All right, let's see who won our respect, Jesse. All right, congratulations to Shady Force for winning my respect today, as well as El Russell for El Russell for winning my respect as well. You guys guessed correctly. Okay, look, Will, I can't deny it, but also, yeah, he gets double respect now.
Meanwhile, Iker into the mimics, or past the mimics now, to that spike room, going backwards. And having to hit the switch again.
Oof. But also, yeah, just throwing the burner on and saying, bye, cannonballs.
And yeah, at this point, Iker does have plenty of silver arrows to deal with Landmo 2 and Ganon.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, it's absolutely Iker's race to lose. You know, it's unfortunate for Raylan that, you know, he was in Ice Palace first, but left the green pendant there, so it's definitely gross all around.
Yeah, and I mean, as we talked about, when you're down to the fact that you knew that your 3 items were hookshot locked and that the dungeon was Samaria locked for Cold Stare, you know, what choice do you feel you have but to almost skip it?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, we were even saying in here, like, oh, it's hookshot locked, but at the same time, like, it wasn't. Darn you, Ice Palace hookshot logic.
And that's the thing. I mean, we can't point to just one thing on this seed. It's definitely been a major combination of bad factors. Hookshot was pretty rough. Flute wasn't great. We did have a medallion in the back of Pendant's skull. Samaria was not real favorable given that we already had received Moon Pearl out of Pendant Hera. Just, you know, each moment was one after another where you're just kind of like, I didn't want this.
Right, and, you know, I'll add in here, every single pendant dungeon was required today. Every single one. You had to do pendant, you had to go into the back of Pendant Skull for that Quake medallion. You had to go into Pendant Hera for Moon Pearl and Samaria, and you had to beat Pendant Ice for your hookshot. Chat, I too remember when this was a jet seed.
Yeah, I mean, we were in on that too. We were all kind of like, oh, don't worry, this one's going to be a relatively quick one. And it broke all of our expectations.
It's like it heard us and said, oh, you thought this was going to be quick? Hold my beer. Now the good news on Raylan's side, he will be getting that that big key relatively quickly as well. You know, both runners pulling the small key out of Hope Room and using it to go to Compass Ramp.
But down goes Aga 2 for Ike here. Just has that Ganon fight coming up as Raylan is about to get his big key for a GT.
Yep, and taking that small key, mirroring, and to the climb Raylan goes as to the drop Ike here goes. Ganon, you're not doing anything to help me with my hunger issue here.
And just putting on that cape to make easy work of the 1 cycle for phase 2 here. Not even risking it with the dashes.
That was really nice setup too against the wall. Like, he had the pixel lineup where he wasn't sliding on each sword hit. Yeah, Penguin pointing out in chat, like, Raylan having the big key and being on the climb while Ike here is, you know, on Ganon. You know, with the number of double dips that Raylan did have, that is fairly impressive.
Yeah, it shows the power of, you know, a couple of things here or there, like Raylan having that flute, being able to skip some things in some regards, even for full clearing others. But get those GGs in chat for Ike here, just having to cross that bridge now. And
Yes,
there we go.
Yep.
Ike here, finishing up.
Go ahead. You go. You do it.
Finishing in first place with an official time of 1:40.42.
Finishing with time and things, and yay.
And 3 points given to Don't Forget to Track Us.
Yeah, this is good. That's giving Don't Forget to Track Us a winning record as opposed to an even record now. So that's going to be feeling pretty good for them. You know, it's good things.
And we will see if we can get Ike here in here to chat with us.
And there he is, GG Ike here.
Thank you, Laria. That was a seed.
That was a seed.
Yeah.
Not what you'd expect for Kaz Boots Week, I'm guessing.
Oh, I've run so many of these Kaz Boots that just have weird item placements that I'm used to it by now. And track them too. Oh, Kaz Boots.
Yeah, so, you know, talk us through your feels here about the seed in general, and, you know, picking up that flute near the end.
Well, the early game, I don't think I've ever seen a character go that loaded before. But at the end of the day, it was once you get to Dark World, there's only one dungeon, one crystal dungeon you can do, and that's Thieves Town. There were like a few pendants. I could just go woods. Some of the skill woods, and I did the front, but I didn't do the back. I was trying to avoid them as much as possible. Then figured I'd find stuff on the way that would open up the dungeons. Like one item would open a dungeon. I get Titan Spits, I can go into ice. I get bow, I can do Pod Eastern, that kind of thing. And like nothing was coming. I went to Pod thinking, yeah, there might be something in here, and getting the bow immediately was funny. It was even more funny finding the one on the pyramid.
Yeah, that was pretty funny on our end too, because you both did end up picking up different bows as your first one. You know, yours being the pod bow. Raylan got the pyramid bow first.
So yeah, Silver's going into Pod Easter, which is probably a lot quicker for him to do that then.
That he did.
Yeah, my trying to avoid pendant dungeons bit me at the end because we needed every pendant dungeon. And
Yeah.
I felt way behind once I got the Quake out of Skullwoods. I'm like, oh, God, I could have had this way earlier. It's my total rock access. Yeah, and then what was the other one? Skullwoods, Ice, Hera. The double dip of Hera to get the Keenest Samaria. I left as soon as I got the Moonburrows. I'm like, okay, Dark World. And I found that before I needed it. I did fortunately check the pedestal to make sure it was not needed, and it wasn't needed, so I was relieved at not having finished Terra. But yeah, the hook shot and the flute. I was coming down to those two, and I was hoping to find the hook shot first, because that way I could do swamp, figuring the flute was in there. I'd rather full clear swamp than full clear mire. I guess I got lucky there. I think I saw Raylan Tank here found flute before hookshot.
Yeah, he did. Hookshot was his go mode. He ended up leaving Ice Palace after getting the 3 items on the hookshot lock side, which was really unfortunate. We are going to have to unfortunately wrap up here a little bit early, but really curious, super quickly, who is your other teammate running this week, and when is their match?
That match, I believe it's on Friday, but I will double check. It's Flip Heel versus Divasines.
Nice.
Let's see. Friday at 3 p.m. is when they are running. So good luck to both of them. And good game to Raylan Tank here. I felt behind the entire second half of that seed because of the Skullwoods play. So I actually shut off my race time, so I wouldn't be able to see when he finished.
Yeah,
but,
and I don't blame you for feeling that way. It was definitely a bit on the on the spooky side, to say the least. So GG again, Ike here. Good luck don't forget to track us for the rest of your season, and good luck to Flip Heel on Friday.
Yep. Thank you for the commentary and tracking. Radical Sniper, Larry, and Will. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for putting on a good race for us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to wrap up here. We have coming up here very quickly the Wind Waker Randomizer tournament happening here. So we've got Tanjo versus Gymnast, which will turn out to be a super, super hype matchup. If you follow Wind Waker Rando at all, these are both incredible runners. So stick around, and we will hopefully see you guys again soon. Thanks again, Jesse and Will.
Hey, it was a good time. Have a good afternoon, everybody.